This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Venendo su gioco, credo reconsione assassini no due.
Cam, you're getting way too into this. Oh, wait, really? I mean, we just did this for Assassin's Creed 1.
My bad, sorry.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Game On. I am Sean O'Brien.
And I'm Cameron Harris.
And today we're going to be reviewing Assassin's Creed 2, the sequel to the awesome free-runner action game we reviewed a while ago.
Assassin's Creed 1, we kind of decided was one of the best games we'd ever played.
Yes.
Assassin's Creed 2 is even better.
Oh yeah, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want a public service announcement to everyone out there. Play the first Assassin's Creed first.
Yes, you have to.
It sets up the whole story for you.
Yeah, and then also I should note, when you play through the game, the Italian at the beginning of the show will make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, because it is set in Renaissance Italy.
And just apologies to anybody out there who is actually watching this, who speaks Italian, if we totally butchered it, but you know.
If I totally butchered it.
Yeah.
Keep in mind the combination of using Google Translate for that and me kind of figuring out how to pronounce it myself, I probably ended up saying something completely different. So if anyone actually speaks Italian out there, my apologies. But set in Renaissance Italy. So the first game was set in the Crusades.
Right. So this one's a little bit different. You start out as a young boy in Italy. I guess you're about 18 or so when it starts. It kind of does a similar thing to the previous game, but this time it actually gives you years and dates and places, which is kind of nice. So it might skip 5 or 10 years, and then you play through for a while and it skips another 5 or 10 years.
And we should point out, you're still playing the modern day person, Desmond Miles.
Right, so you're still the same character in the real world, but inside of the Animus, or inside of this kind of virtual reality, you're actually playing Ezio Auditore,
who is one of your ancestors, because what the Animus does is it takes the memories of your ancestors that are stored in your DNA and allows you to basically replay them.
Exactly.
Now, in this case, before, Desmond had been captured by this company called Abstergo.
Right. Which we found out that they were really modern-day Templars.
Exactly, and they were trying to find these pieces of Eden. You'll know what that means in the story.
Right.
But you've managed to escape with the help of Lucy, who is a lab assistant there, but who is actually an undercover assassin.
Right, modern-day assassins.
This feud is still going on. So you're playing this feud between the good guys, assassins, and the bad guys, Templars. You're playing it back in the Crusades, in Renaissance Italy, but it's still going on today.
Exactly, hundreds of years later.
Exactly. So at this point, you are basically, with the assassins. They're kind of protecting you from the Templars, and the idea here is they need to train you to be a full assassin.
Exactly, because the Animus has a certain effect called the bleeding effect, where your DNA, your real world self, kind of merges with your ancestral DNA and the experiences that you go through then. So they're essentially giving you a super crash course in how to become an assassin.
Because you're living through the entire life, practically, of this Ezio Auditore La Forense guy. Mm-hmm. You start out when Ezio didn't know very much like Desmond, didn't know anything about assassins.
Right.
But then comes to find out that his father was an assassin, and then he goes into training with his uncle Mario and everything. Shall we take a look?
Sounds great. So here we are in, what town are we in right here?
This is Venice, I believe.
Right. Yeah, you have kind of your home villa, which belongs to your family, your Uncle Mario. And then you visit different cities in Italy, and
Florence, Venice.
Right. So there's a number of different cities with a number of different objectives, a number of different missions that you unlock as you go along. And you also unlock different parts of a city at different times.
And there's actually very similar to the first Assassin's Creed, these gorgeous sprawling landscapes. Watch our original review of Assassin's Creed to kind of get the base thing. So like up here you have your synchronization bar,
exactly,
mini map down here.
You have your commands up in the top right to kind of let you know if you're in high or low profile mode and what you can do.
Because there's a lot of different commands depending on what button you're holding down. So it's
Right.
nice that they give you a nice visual. And of course, the classic free running.
Right.
The free run system has actually gotten better, I think. It feels way faster. Like you can move way quicker and way more agile than before.
Definitely. It's less parts where you might get stuck on the wrong spot or do something you don't want to do. It's really smooth.
We should also point out, you're swimming.
Yes, you can finally swim in Assassin's Creed 2. It was such an annoying fact that you jump in water and I guess Altair can't swim because you just die. It was really bizarre.
But with all the canals and everything in like Venice and Italy in general, you have to have that.
And this is another thing that they added, which was quite interesting, is you can now loot. You can pickpocket people, you can loot dead bodies, you can take money from chests. If you'll notice in the background there's a chest that I've already looted.
You can also steal from certain boats and things like that.
So I'm going to go ahead and loot this boat. You just hold B and it kind of goes through the process.
You get 100 florins. And this is kind of cool too. You actually have like a kind of a stealth. You have different types of assassinations where you can do stealth things, pull people off of ledges and things like that.
Right.
Push them over if you wanted to.
Exactly.
And the monetary system is really cool because you can use it to, you actually buy health from doctors. You actually pay doctors to heal you. It doesn't regenerate over time.
Right.
Like in the first one.
You can also buy medicines that will heal you. But that's totally different because there's no monetary system at all in the first game.
Yeah, and you can also buy weapons, which you have way more weapons in this game. If you bring up the wheel.
All right, so here I'll bring up the wheel. You'll notice we have medicine here. That will heal me. So actually I'm gonna go ahead and use one of those right now.
Gives you about half of your health.
Right, not too bad. You then have smoke bombs.
Those are really cool. Disorient all of your enemies.
It will disorient anybody around you, basically. Helps for a very quick getaway. I'll go ahead and throw one here. Oh, I guess not. We'll go ahead and select that. Throw a smoke bomb. So disoriented, it makes you notoriety meter go yellow, so you can run away quickly and go hide. We've also got money, so you can throw money on the ground, which attracts people like crazy. So if we go to a group of people here and, oh, hey, look, money. Oh, money. They all come running, so that's
very
quite
excited.
helpful.
It's a nice distraction to like move guards away from a place or something like that.
Right. Going further down the list, you just have your fists, throwing knives, which is something new.
Actually, we had throwing knives in Assassin's Creed 1.
Right. The new part is that you can throw multiple knives at multiple people.
Exactly.
So that can be quite effective.
Fan them out in front of you.
We now have a short sword, which before was kind of with your throwing knives.
Yeah.
But now it's actually a separate item.
Really quick. Useful for kind of like quick jabbing attacks.
Exactly. And actually, I'll go find some guards so we can demonstrate some of these.
Yeah. There we go.
Hi. Yeah, we'll just slice at you. Oh, hey, look.
Very
So,
nice.
so yeah, quick attack. You can also equip your longer blade.
Which is really nice. You can have swords, but you can also have things like large war hammers kind of thing.
Right, you have a whole bunch of weapons that you accumulate and you can buy. Let's see, in addition here, this is a couple of new additions to the game. You have double daggers.
So you start out with just one hidden blade, but then you can also have two, which is really nice. And you can also use the hidden blades in normal combat.
Yes.
So you can use them like swords, which is actually really nice.
So if you'll notice here, I'm blocking and attacking with the hidden blades.
Which is really nice. You couldn't do that before. You had to switch to the sword.
Right. And here is one which we all didn't really see coming, a gun.
Yes.
So
this is one of the things I love about the game is that one of your friends is Leonardo da Vinci. And he basically is able to decipher, nice.
Thank you.
He's able to decipher all these ancient assassin scrolls where the assassins had figured out these various things. So he's able to decipher and build these devices.
And they're called
you.
codex pages.
Yes, and you find them scattered throughout. You also have this one, which is the poison blade,
Right.
which is useful because it's kind of like a very quick little dink. Nice for like if you need to, assassinate someone and then just kind of get out of there without anyone knowing you were there.
Right.
It's a delayed reaction.
Exactly.
So you can just kind of like dink. They don't notice anything. You walk away, and then it
So
takes
I
effect.
just poisoned him. Go ahead and walk away. We can just watch what happens. you kind of start feeling a little lightheaded and, you know, woozy, and then they really just go crazy. They pull out their sword and start thrashing around. And actually, if you do it in a group of guards, sometimes they'll start attacking each other, which can be quite helpful.
Yeah, very. So there's a lot more like stealth in this game. A lot more like you can be very clever about your different tactics.
Exactly.
Which is really, really cool. This is one of my personal favorites, where if you're hiding up somewhere above a guard with the hidden blade, you can actually then jump down. And if you have 2 hidden blades, you can actually take out
multiple guards
at once, exactly.
So the controls are pretty much the same as the first game.
Pretty much. A couple new additions like the weapon selection wheel.
Right, that's new. But, you know, other than that, you know, assassinate, tackle, things like that, pretty much the same. I really like the addition that they have, the weapon select menu. It's quite nice to have. You know, it's pretty easy to get the hang of.
One of the things that I find so fun is that you're tasked with, say, a mission like an assassination. You know, you must assassinate this person. And then you can go about it in whatever way you want. You can go in guns blazing, you can go in and just kind of like very sneakily poison them or something like that. Before, you really didn't have an option. It was always this huge like sword fight in the middle of the street, and that doesn't really say assassin to me.
Right. And sometimes you actually have to come in and be low profile and not be detected for the entire assassination.
That's a requirement sometimes, and it's really fun.
There are race challenges, get from point A to point B in a certain amount of time, deliver messages. They really mixed it up, because that was one of the complaints about the first game, is it was so repetitive. You know,
pickpocket, eavesdrop, beat up. Pickpocket, eavesdrop, beat up. It was very repetitive.
Maybe a race challenge here and there, and then that was it. So this one, they really mixed it up. It's really more diverse, and it makes it way more interesting.
And it feels, I mean, it just doesn't get old.
No.
At the end of the game, this is one of the nice things. At the end of the game, unlike Assassin's Creed 1, with Assassin's Creed 1, you could replay levels. With this game, instead, you enter this kind of like free play mode where you can do whatever you want.
Right, which can be a lot of fun.
In terms of graphics, this game differs quite a bit visually from the first game in that because it's Italy and not this kind of like desert system, you have all these colors, bright colors, and you know, really interesting architectures, not all just, you know, buildings made out of rock and sand.
Right, all the buildings weren't the same. Instead, you have some really stunning scenery, bell towers, really just great stuff. So here we are at Ezio's family's villa, where his family is currently staying. And one of the nice things about this is you actually maintain it. You pay to fix up the town, and it's actually a source of income for you. You store all of your weapons that you buy here.
Weapons and armor.
Right, so we'll head in here and you see all the racks of swords. And if you go here, you can interact and you can see the damage, speed, and deflection power of each weapon.
Because each weapon behaves slightly differently.
Right. So I currently have the Sword of Altair, which is the most powerful large blade. But you can see how you can kind of collect and build up over the course of the game.
Yeah.
And then if we head in here, we also have your armor, which you have all the different kinds. You have leather, steel, like iron-plated. And you also have the vehicles that you drive in the course of the game.
There are a couple vehicles. They aren't just like, oh, cart, and just grab in at any point.
Right. There's specific missions where you get these vehicles. And so the first one here is this wagon that you have to drive and maneuver without blowing up. And this one, well, this was quite interesting. It's Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine, which in this game actually works. And you have to maneuver over fire pits in order to use the heat to propel you to your destination.
Those missions are really fun. The way they added those in there every now and then was really well done.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, in general, I would say Assassin's Creed 2, a vast improvement on the first game, which was already fantastic.
Definitely.
One of the best games that I have played, period.
Yeah, I mean, this is really one of the games that I sat down and played start to finish with very few interruptions.
Yeah, definitely check it out if you're at all interested in this style game. It is phenomenal.
Absolutely, and it's available for PS3, Xbox 360, and PC.
Indeed, so go out and get your hands on a copy today if you haven't already. It's a really popular game.
It is.
So until next time, be sure to visit our website at www.harwoodpodcast.com. On the show notes for this episode, we'll have a link to where you can pick up Assassin's Creed 2 for yourself for whatever platform you want. And if you have any questions or comments for us about the show, suggestions for games we should review or anything like that, just send us an email. You can send me an email at cameron@harwoodpodcast.com. Until next time, guys.
Game on.